Welcome back to my video. Today I will show you how to solve some of the problems that occur after installing Linux when dual booting Windows. The most common problem is when the installed Linux distribution is booted directly. Now I'm going to show you some situations you may find yourself in and how to manage them. For this purpose, I will use two computers that have different BIOS interfaces, graphic and text, and two Linux installations, the first of which is on Deepin OS and the second on Pop OS. Let's get started. When I restart Deepin OS, it loads again without giving me an option to load Windows, or, in other words, we don't see its boot menu. Here we see that we have two partitions, one of which is the system disk. In this case, Deepin OS and another one who isn't named. This should be for Windows. Here we can see the entire disk of our installed Windows, so everything should be fine with it. Now I'll show you two ways you can choose which operating system to boot. The first way is when restarting the computer to load the boot menu of your BIOS. If you don't know the button responsible for loading this boot menu, or if you don't know who it is, look in the documentation for your computer. In the boot menu, we see our disk drive, Windows Boot Manager, and Deepin OS drive. We can choose and boot which operating system to boot directly from here or change the operating system that boots by default in BIOS boot priorities. Go to Setup. Here we see the Gigabit graphics interface. Go to the BIOS tab. In the BIOS boot priorities, we see the options numbered 1, 2, and 3. This is the boot order of this disk. Now you can go to option 1 to set which operating system to boot first. After selecting the operating system, save the changes and confirm. The computer will restart automatically and load the operating system you selected. Okay, now we have Windows. If you want to change back to Linux, you just have to go to the boot menu and select it to boot. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our next videos. Now I will show you how to use the boot menu of Deepin OS. Open the Control Center. Here, look for the General setting. Now enable Startup Delay. Startup Delay will enable a 5-second Deepin OS boot delay option. This way, we will be able to choose between it and Windows. Now close all programs and Windows and restart your computer. Immediately after the reboot, activate the boot menu. Now press space, and the bootloader timer will stop. Here we see both operating systems and can test their loading. Perfect. We have Windows now. Now, if you want, you can go back into BIOS and set Deepin OS to default. So every time you start your computer, you will be able to choose which operating system to start. Okay, that's fine. Another problem that can show up when dual booting Windows and Linux. Here I have a Pop OS that boots directly without being able to switch to Windows. Now we will see how to show the Start menu when starting the computer. On a file in other locations, go to the computer, open the boot folder in it, look for the EFI folder, and open it. Now you will be asked for your password. Enter it, and then open the loader folder. Okay, here we need to open the file loader.conf, for which we also need to enter a password. Now we can edit the file. On the next line, enter the timeout and then the time in seconds you want to delay the loader. I'll use 5 seconds. Now save the file, close the window, and then restart the computer. Okay, now we see the bootloader on Pop! OS. However, we don't see Windows here. This is because during installation I made a second EFI because Pop! OS cannot be installed in less than 1 GB. I don't know why that is. I didn't want to expand the EFI partition, so I preferred to make a new one just for Pop! OS. Now I will show you how we can fix this on the Pop! OS system, and then I will also show how it can be done on the Windows you choose. Where is it more convenient for you to do it? First, you need to update and then upgrade the system. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our next videos. Once everything is ready, we can start repairing our bootloader. We will use the system deboot method. I've included a link to this GitHub page in the description of this video, so you can use it for your convenience. I also want to thank the creators of the page. Open a terminal. For my convenience, I will use Pop! OS Windows Manager. Now we will follow the steps indicated on the page. Copy the code sequentially and enter it in the terminal, then execute the enter commands. With the first command, we will install the OS Prober program. After the OS Prober is installed, proceed to the second step and run the OS Prober. The OS Prober will search our disk for systems installed on it. Okay, here we see that the Windows Boot Manager is found, which is located on the SDA1 partition. The next step is to mount this partition. Copy the discount code 3 or write it. Note that in the code, a partition SDB1 is introduced, which is an example. You should replace it in our case with SDA1. /MNT is where we will mount the device. When you are done, press enter. Now we can find EFI on a file in other locations. Go to the computer and open the MNT folder. This is Windows EFI. In the next step, we will copy the files that I need to start Windows. Copy the code from step 4 and paste it into the terminal. Here we can see that this command will copy the Microsoft folder from the MNT directory to the EFI of the Pop! OS system. Let's go to the directory where the Microsoft folder will be copied. Navigate to other locations, then computer, then open the boot directory. Here we will open the EFI and, again, the EFI directory. Here are all the necessary files to load Pop! OS. After executing our command, the Microsoft folder should appear. Now run the terminal command by pressing Enter. We need to reload the folder to see the Microsoft folder. Okay, everything is great. Now we can close all windows and programs and restart Pop! OS. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our next videos. Select and boot Pop! OS, and now we can see Windows Boot Manager in our boot menu. It was great to test Windows. Now everything is fine, and Windows is here. In the next steps, I will show you how we can fix boot when Windows is missing from the Windows operating system. To show EFI in File Explorer, they must have a letter assigned to them. For this purpose, I will use a utility called Minitool Partition Wizard. Go to the Minitool Partition Wizard website, download the free version, and install it. Open the program installer and just follow it. When the installation is finished, open the Minitool Partition Wizard, and we will see all the partitions on our disk. I have shown the two EFI partitions in red. This is the EFI partition for Pop! OS, and this one only boots Windows. Now we will assign letters to both partitions. I assign the letter D to the Windows partition. And I assign the letter O to the partition with Pop! OS. You can choose any letter from the menu. When you are ready, press Apply and confirm the following windows. Then close the program. Okay, now we see both EFI partitions in our File Explorer. Unfortunately, we won't be able to open and edit them through it. For this, we will use Explorer++. It is a very powerful file explorer for Windows. Go to the Explorer++ page and download the version for your PC, then extract the downloaded zip file. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our next videos. Open the extracted folder and run the Explorer++exe file as an administrator. Now we see our drives here. Drive D, which has the Windows boot files, and Drive O, which has the Pop! OS boot files. Now open Drive D, copy the Microsoft folder from the EFI, and then go to Drive O. In the EFI, paste the Microsoft folder you copied. When you're done, close all windows and programs and restart your computer. From the boot menu, launch Pop! OS. Great! The Windows Boot Manager is here. Now we can boot Windows. I hope this video was useful for you. If so, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our next videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.